What is a manufacturer's representative? In this brief presentation, we'll review the basics. Oftentimes, a manufacturer's rep is called an independent sales representative and sometimes also a sales agent. Basically, a manufacturer's rep is the outside salesperson or an outside company that does marketing and sales on behalf of another manufacturer or vendor. The commission rates are usually varied. They can be as low as 1% and quite high, 70, 80% for some things. Typically, they range in the 10 to 25% range. There is a national organization for manufacturer reps. It's called the Manufacturing Agents National Association, or MANA as it is better known. There are a number of other associations like MANA and online resources where representatives can find manufacturers or manufacturers can find representatives. Just do a Google search on manufacturers agents or manufacturer reps and you'll see those additional sites that are available. When's the time to engage a manufacturer's representative? Well, typically it's when the manufacturer lacks a sales force of their own. That's often the case. It's a company sometimes that is very good at inventing or manufacturing, but they don't really have at this point in the early stage of the company a dedicated marketing and sales force. And so they engage a manufacturer's rep, either an individual or a company, to do the marketing and sales on their behalf. Another reason might be the company is introducing a new product into the market and their own internal salespeople don't have particularly good contacts or expertise in that market, and so they'll engage a manufacturer's rep who has good contacts and experience in that particular market. A third reason is there's a new market the company wants to enter. It's similar in concept to the second reason above, where they don't have the expertise of the contacts and they engage a third or second party, the man rep, who has those contacts to represent them. And the fourth and final, it's just sometimes it's more cost effective than using a company's own personnel, or if a company is cash constrained at a stage in their development, rather than holding an employee, a full-time employee with all those associated costs, they'll engage a manufacturer's rep to make the sales on their behalf, which sometimes can be a more cost-effective way to get the marketing and sales done. The basic terms of engagement do vary. Often it starts with a commission. Sometimes it's just a straight commission deal, and that commission typically is in the 10 to 25% range, but it can be less or more than that, depending on the nature of the product or service that is being sold and what the manufacturer's rep is being asked to do, what sort of burden and activities and sort of time frame it takes to make those sales. The payments can also include a retainer. Typically that's a monthly retainer, and that oftentimes is just a element that's complementary to the commission, where perhaps the commission is the larger dollar value on sales, but there is a monthly retainer that would let the manufacturer's rep meet its traveling, marketing, and some of its basic expenses along the way. In certain cases, the manufacturer and the manufacturer's rep might negotiate equity or stock options. The manufacturer's rep is actually making an investment in the manufacturer or the vendor, putting forth all this effort in marketing and sales. That investment, could just be a cash investment, typically in exchange for equity or options, but for the manufacturer's rep, it's typically sweat equity, where the manufacturer's rep is using that person's contacts or experience, and in exchange hopes to do the marketing and sales successfully on behalf of the company. But that upfront investment sometimes is rewarded or negotiated with equity or option terms to complement the commission or the retainer. That really does vary on the circumstances of the company and the manufacturer rep who's being engaged. In summary, there are a few important considerations that both the manufacturer and the manufacturer's rep should consider. You want to have the right fit. So there needs to be a few meetings and discussions and dialogue just to make sure the manufacturer and the sales rep are on the same page, that they have the right chemistry, they have the right mindset and the right view, and they work well together. The right fit is an important thing. The two also need to have a shared commitment. So that usually develops over a series of discussions about what the manufacturer is looking for and hoping for. And the manufacturer's rep will also talk about his or her particular circumstances, and then they'll talk about where they hope to go, what they hope to achieve in working together, and defining a shared commitment, making sure that's clear. Which brings us to our final point. Always get the terms in writing. It's very easy to put an agreement in place. There, the national organizations like MANA have some templates to work from, but always get the terms in writing, agreed to by both parties. That clarifies things. It brings a little comfort and security about what sort of commitment has been made, and to make sure that commitment is clear to both parties. If you'd like more information on a manufacturer's rep, you can visit the website engedi.biz. The link is shown below, engedi.biz.